For a very long time, the European Court of Human Rights and Fundamental Freedoms in Strasbourg, linked to the Council of Europe, has had a very clear line on one of the core principles, one of the core values of the European Convention: religious freedom. The European Court has found in many judgments that religious freedom implies both the individual right to worship and believe and the collective dimension of religious communities to have a legal personality, to register themselves, to train their clergy or priests, to exist as legal subjects in society. As the European Court has found, the recognition of legal personality is a basic, fundamental European right. If we look today, in 2014, at Turkey, what we discover is a striking anomaly in the European context. For Turkey is still today the only country that has ratified the European Convention in which this basic right for a religious community to be legally recognized is not guaranteed. In fact, a few years ago, the Venice Commission, a group of legal experts advising the Council of Europe, of which Turkey is one of the earliest members, this Venice Commission found that in Turkey, the basic problem of Turkish law as regards religious communities, that they cannot register, is still unresolved. Now, there are many ways in which this problem is addressed in different European countries, and the Venice Commission presents them. There's a difference in the way this is handled in Germany or in the United Kingdom, in the Netherlands or in Sweden, in Spain or in Denmark. But in all of these jurisdictions and countries, it is possible for a Sunni group, an Alevi group, Buddhists, Greek Orthodox, to be legally registered, except in Turkey. Now, how are other European countries dealing with this issue? Let's take France. In France, there are 431 Greek Orthodox or Russian Orthodox associations. In Spain, which defines itself as majority Catholic, 70% Catholic, there is an organic law on religious freedom passed with the transition to democracy in 1980, which lists the rights of religious communities and says that religious entities can register with the Ministry of Justice. There are a few basic documents to be submitted, and there are no other restrictions on their activities other than the objective to maintain public order. And finally, Denmark, which is interesting for Turkey because Denmark actually has a state church, the Lutheran Protestant Danish Church, which is paid from tax money and where the bishops and the government actually are involved in the management of the church, and the bishops are also paid by the state. Very similar to Turkey, where you have the institution Diyanet responsible for paying and supervising the work of the Sunni imams. Well, in Denmark, where you have a state church, you also have more than 100 registered religious autonomous communities. Again, Sunni, Shia, Buddhists, Hinduists, Greek Catholics, Catholics, Greek Orthodox. Now, why is this so difficult to do in Turkey? Traditionally, of course, in Turkey there has been a big fear of religious freedom. There has been a sense that religious diversity might be exploited by foreign enemies, but this really should be far behind. Turkey today is a confident country where the Prime Minister on many occasions has said that in Istanbul and across the country, the church and the synagogue have stood side by side, I quote from 2011, side by side on the same street for centuries, where the Foreign Minister, Ahmet Davutoglu, has said that Turkey does not tolerate discrimination, where the President, Abdullah Gül, in February 2013 has said that the President and the state should have equal distance to members of all belief and to those who do not hold a belief. Why then, if the leaders say this, is it so hard to change this? Well, one reason is that the debate until now has not been on principle. There have been a lot of discussions on individual deals between the state and, let's say, the Orthodox community and the Patriarch, or the state and the Alevis, or the state and Protestants. What we've proposed is that, in fact, the debate would benefit enormously if the different religious communities and liberals who just care for human rights and members of the majority religion would come together and say, let's end the Turkish anomaly. Let's pass a law that makes it possible for the Patriarch and the Synod, for the Alevis, for the Protestants, to exist as legal personalities, as is possible in every other European country.